Hi guys, I had a request from Rowan asking about I used a thumb slapping technique in the Kaigo lesson. It's kind of cool, this difference between a thumb slap and a little heartbeat thing, and we'll just basically go into that in some detail. It's pretty important that you know the slap flick lesson already, which is in the same playlist, so you should be able to find that pretty simple. So if you learn that first, then this will be a bit more on that. As you can see here, my album comes out tomorrow. It's called Lifeline. You can find it on any platform, any major platform, any of that. If you could go check that out and let me know what you think, enjoy it. Anyway, let's go in for a close-up. Okay guys, just so we've got, I'm going to be basically moving between a G chord and a C add 9. Just so we've got some nice sound in the left hand. But what we're focusing on is this right hand. So we're going to look at two techniques. We're going to look at this heartbeat technique, where it's nice, you can hear the chord ringing out, there's not too much of a slap, and this kind of thumb bounce, which is similar to like slap bass. It's that kind of, and if you put some hammer-ons in, you get that sound. So first things first, we're going to look at the heartbeat. And what you're trying to do with this is we're looking about hitting at about the top 4 strings. I'll just zoom this in a little bit. These top 4 strings. And if you keep your thumb pointing quite like across the strings rather than this perpendicular like we have with the thumb slap, that brings quite a slappy sound. We want this dull sound. So if we keep our thumb pointing down, we get much less slap. Also helps if you can play it a bit further back on the guitar. You get a sort of bassier sound, that compared to that. So if you move your hand back a little, and then all we're doing with the thumb is it's moving in. As soon as you hit the strings, lift up again. The longer you stay down, don't get any noise. So it's got to be a bit of a flick or like a bounce. As soon as you feel the strings, pick them off again. And just keep practicing that on its own. Then when you start to get it, start adding in some fingers or some strums. And then maybe some slaps, because the whole point of this is percussion. So if you can do your slap flick technique. Then start throwing in those chord changes. And that's basically the heartbeat. As you can hear, you've got those different sounds. So have a bit of a play with what works for whatever you're playing. The second one is this more flicky sound. So this, we are getting our thumb more across this, and we're kind of aiming more at one string. But it's exactly the same technique, but if you keep your thumb pointing across, it's a bit more of a tinnier snare drum kind of sound. So just practice that, make sure you're getting that note out. It doesn't sound like this. We want it straight off, slap and note at the same time, and then start practicing doing some hammer-ons. And then maybe a double hammer-on. And you can use that as a way into a chord. Just have a bit of a play with those. Just keep practicing them, then make your own little patterns to work them into songs, and then you can get some nice percussion going. Okay guys, I hope that lesson was helpful. Just keep going with these little techniques. They take some time to get down sometimes, so just keep pushing on with it and you get it. And it gives a nice percussive feel. It's great if you want to go down the line and learn Andy McKee and those kind of guys. As usual, if you do the like, subscribe thing, and that helps me out. And if you want any lessons, any requests, comments, chuck them in below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.